Hey everyone, and welcome to another Game Explained discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by John Cartwright and AntDude to discuss the reveal of the Wonderful 101 Remastered Kickstarter, which has already been funded on the Nintendo Switch. So, let's get started. And yeah, I say been funded on the Nintendo Switch, and it's about to get funded on the on Steam and PC as well. As of right now, we're going to do this as a little experiment. It's hitting 225,000 basically now. So we'll see where it's at the end of this discussion. But yes, the Wonderful 101 Remastered exists. People have been begging for this game to come to the Switch. It is happening. And I know you're a diehard fan. How's it feel?
It is so, I mean, if you want to be cliche and say wonderful, it does feel wonderful that this game has been given a second chance, because it is so good. Arguably the best game on Wii U that no one played. Has been very depressing as a Wonderful 101 fan for years, because no one cared, and the fact that it surpassed its goal, I think, in 20 minutes to at least get to the Switch. It's very, very satisfying, and I'm very hopeful for whatever the other goals are. We don't even know what they're planning after all the versions get announced.
I remember being told how much it sold on Wii U, and I don't think I can divulge how much it was, but it was extremely low. So I kind of expected this Kickstarter to not do great, but it hit its goal so quickly, within 20 minutes. It was insane. And the numbers, I'm watching them now, they are not stopping. People seem to really want this game.
Nope.
I mean, I was here pretty early on, because we were trying to keep an eye on things, and I think that with just one backer, I think it was already at like $130. So, yeah.
To be fair, a lot of the stuff that they're offering for the higher tiers are incredible fan service. There's a jacket that Wonder Red wears, and it's almost $1,000. I don't even know how much it is. It's in the 4 digits.
My gosh. Yeah, it's hard to tell because it's based on yen, so you gotta kind of look a little more.
Right.
But yeah, they have a lot of different just reward tiers to go through. Like, I love how you can get banned by Kamiya too as one of
I'm already there. I'm already banned, so I already have that honor.
I don't need to pay that much. I'm pretty sure it's not that hard. I guess it's more about the personalized tweet.
I think I did it by actually asking for Wonderful 101 years ago. So
he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah,
we'll do it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, apparently get a bunch of toys at $508 plus all the previous stuff. I think that's the crazy thing and why it just builds up so much is because you always get the previous rewards as well, and it seems to be a well put together Kickstarter. I have not looked at Kickstarter in a long time, not since Bloodstained or Indivisible. Not really bothered, but it's definitely exciting because they have a ton of rewards in there. It seems set to go, and probably the thing that makes that the most exciting and me like, oh, okay, I'll do this. It comes out in April.
That's insane.
It does make me question some things, though. For instance, they recently got an investment from Tencent, and with it coming out in April, that implies to me that this is more or less done, because how else are you going to get an entire port up that fast? So I'm kind of wondering, like, where is all this Kickstarter money going? Is it just sort of reimbursing themselves for what they've already done? Or is it just something they need to help self-publish?
That's a good question. I'm not sure on that one. It's hard to, because I doubt they're ever going to reveal how much Tencent invested or anything like that. And they did put out an interview where they said that Nintendo still jointly owns the IP, correct?
Right, yeah, so with VGC, and VGC mentioned that this interview happened months ago, so things could have changed in that time. But basically, Nintendo still co-own the IP, and they're just letting them do this. So I guess like Wonderful 101 must be not very valuable to Nintendo in that mindset, but they are letting them put it on multiple platforms, which is unprecedented for a Nintendo property.
I wonder if the reason why the jumps between console versions is so steep, like maybe it's because of that, because if it's $50K for the Switch version, it's $500K for the PS4 version. I wonder if that much of a jump is part of the reason why, that they need to fund getting the license away from Nintendo, maybe? Like, I don't know how this is working if Nintendo still co-owns it, because it's similar to the Bayonetta situation where they couldn't, theoretically, port Bayonetta 2 anywhere because Nintendo was crucial in it.
That's a good point, yeah. Because usually the first version would be the PC version. It's very rare that we see Switch being the primary platform, so it could very well just be them covering the license costs to even get it on the Switch.
It's an interesting situation, no matter how you slice it. I don't think it's... obviously, nobody cares that much if it's already reached its goal that quickly and it's still climbing at an insane rate. So I don't think anybody's too concerned about where the money is going. I think they're just happy it's happening. So it's one of those things like, yeah, it might be shady. Who knows how it's actually getting funded, but this is a thing we love, so cool.
I mean, it helps that we're in the age where everyone's asking when every Wii U game is getting ported, and Wonderful 101 was like always kind of in the discussion. But since there aren't many games left to be ported over that aren't from Nintendo, everyone was like, oh, Wonderful 101 has to happen at some point. So I guess enough conversation on top of people realizing how good of a game it was made people... it's still just growing. We're looking at it and it's still just growing, which I don't know where they were during the Wii U days, but they're here now.
I think enough word of mouth has spread about Wonderful 101 since, and hey, I actually own a Switch. I didn't own a Wii U, so I'll check this game out now.
I remember one thing our source said to us when we reported this initially. They said that Nintendo didn't want it, as in they didn't want to publish it themselves. So Platinum took it to multiple other publishers, and they also didn't want it. So like this Kickstarter was literally the only way this could have possibly happened, because no one wanted to publish this game.
And if it leads to a future where Platinum is now self-publishing their own games, like in the future with Tencent money, like that could be exciting too.
And like we have the Platinum 4 teaser at the moment, and right now that site, that the first thing just says Wonderful 101. So that kind of implies that maybe the Platinum 4 thing is going to be 4 different self-funded Platinum projects, which kind of has me scratching my head at what are the other 3 even going to be.
I mean, we're still waiting on information about Bayonetta 3. There's those rumors about Scalebound how long ago, and could they do the same thing with Astral Chain? Although I doubt Nintendo would be fully into that, considering Astral Chain actually sold well. Like, it did over 1 million units.
Yeah, that's also in the VGC interview where they say that Astral Chain is a possibility, but it's probably not going to happen. It's the same co-ownership situation as Wonderful 101, but Astral Chain is a million seller on Switch, so I very highly doubt Nintendo are going to part with that one.
I imagine Nintendo also has exclusivity rights for like a year or something when they initially signed off on the game.
That's also a possibility. I'm trying to think of other Platinum games, but they reveal any more games beyond that?
It just Vanquish was the only one I can think of, because that got ported with Bayonetta like around the time of this recording, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's coming out February 20th.
Right.
I'd be very surprised if Bayonetta was one of these, because it's a co-ownership with Sega and Nintendo, and it's just such a popular IP, even if the sales don't really speak to that. But I suppose, yeah, as we said just now, Scalebound could very well come back as a Kickstarter. But I can't think of a single other thing. Like Metal Gear Rising, Konami would no way they'll let them have Metal Gear.
Oh no.
Yeah, no idea.
I guess it could just be a new IP. Didn't that E3 they say they were working with Square Enix on something? Or am I thinking of something else?
Was that Babylon Falls?
Yeah. I think that's Platinum.
Oh yeah, we did see a bit of that. That's Square Enix, but obviously that's going to be published by Square Enix.
So can't think of anything. If Wonderful 101 is the start of this train, I will be more than happy with that, though, that it's leading the charge of self-funded Platinum.
What if the last one is Wonderful 102?
At that point, you'll hear me from any corner of the world just scream.
I mean, let's get crazy here. We did have Platinum have this whole thing about Okami recently.
Ooh.
Could they be working on something with Capcom to do like a new Okami game?
Maybe. I can't see Capcom letting them announce that themselves, and I can't see Capcom giving them Okami though.
Capcom makes it decent use of Okami, for them at least, so I can't see them giving up the IP. Not when it's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, when the ports are still doing really well, the HD version. That's hard to say. What other Platinum games were there? I'm blanking.
Oh, what about Mad World?
Mad World is one.
Mad World for the Wii.
Ooh, Mad World.
I think that was published by Sega, but it's been such a long time. I could see Platinum getting the rights for that.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have much trouble at all getting the rights for that one. If they do something similar to Nintendo. Hopefully they had that all lined up, because they might be looking at Wonderful 101 and be like, I don't know. We might want to just keep this for ourselves and publish it ourselves rather than anything else, but who knows.
And looking at a list, there's not much more. There's Anarchy Reigns, which I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I know it used I think it was Jack from Mad World plus a bunch of other original characters for some sort of like arena battle game. It was online only, I believe. I didn't hear great things.
Other than that, there's Star Fox Zero, which that won't happen.
Can you imagine Star Fox got a Kickstarter?
Wow. That'd be something. So yeah, unless they go completely original or work with somebody else, like let's go nuts. I mean, Shovel Knight likes to work with everybody, so a Shovel Knight Platinum game.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
It would. They've said that as more money gets donated, there's going to be more tiers unlocked. Do you think that we're going to see any collaborations in Wonderful 101? Like a Wonder Shovel Knight or a Wonder whatever else?
Wonder Shantae or the typical lineup of indie
Wonder
games.
Meat Boy. That's possible.
Ooh, Wonder Meat Boy, yeah.
Because I know actually in Wonderful 101, there's already references to Bayonetta. Like there's already a Wonder Bayonetta. There's a Wonder John, and then there's a Wonder Rodon. So they already have references to other Platinum games. So yeah, I don't imagine why not. Because I guess, do we consider Wonderful 101 an indie game now? Because Platinum Games is trying to self-publish.
Yeah, I remember there are some Nintendo references in there. Like there's I think it's Wonder Gamer. It has like a Famicom controller on its head. And I think the rest of it was more parody though. Like there's a boss fight which is pretty much Punch Out.
All right.
So I guess. Do you think they're going to not censor? Do you think they're going to adapt some of these Nintendo references in other versions? Like, will the Wonder Gamer still have a Famicom controller on his head, or will it be like a PS4 controller instead?
I mean, it seems like a pretty easy thing to just quickly change, so maybe they'll change it.
Yeah, because I think like the NES and like the Master System had it too. That's just a pretty basic controller layout. I think they can get away with not really changing it, unless the colors were looking exactly like Famicom. I don't really remember. But I don't think much censoring, because I can't honestly think of much of the references, because there was the Punch-Out thing, but that was, I don't think that was super obligatory, so I can probably get away with keeping that.
Yeah, not unless they call him, like, Wonder Little Mac, or Wonder Mac, or something like that. I think they can have a Punch-Out reference without having any issues.
Uh-huh. And Andy, I know you can speak to this as well. The Wii U version, while it was quite well suited to the platform, I wouldn't say touch controls were the way to play. Like, it was always far more accurate just to draw with the sticks.
So every time I've talked to someone who's actually enjoyed the game, some people, it's usually pretty split on whether or not people like the touch controls or not. I was not a fan, because I guess for anyone who doesn't know, the whole idea is you make a circle, and you have the hand power, you do a line, you have the sword power. You can either draw it with your finger, or just use the right analog stick, and I just preferred using the sticks. The touch stuff, that's like, when it comes to this port, a lot of things are going to need to be changed, because the entire game was built around not just the touch, but two screens. There are parts where you'll go inside a building, and suddenly you're on the bottom screen, needing to look at the top screen for a button combination to implement on the bottom screen. There's a lot of things that are going to have to be retooled. Because you could theoretically play with both screens on one screen with the Wii U, but it looked clunky. So there are definitely things that are going to have to be adjusted so it works on modern hardware.
I'm picturing it like Four Swords Adventures when you're playing without a Game Boy Advance, so basically the sub-screen shows up on the main screen. Which I think is how it works if you play with a Pro Controller on Wii U.
Yeah, but I just played this game recently. It looks very, very clunky because it just sits there in the bottom right. You can't change the location, so sometimes it'll block off other information. And then there's other like button UIs on top of that bottom screen, so it just looks ugly to play that way, though it is technically playable. And sometimes your primary screen is the bottom screen, and you can't make that the bigger screen of the two. So it ends up just looking like there's no real way in the Wii U version to play it on one screen and have it be seamless from start to finish, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's certainly something they'll have to change up a bit. When it came to drawing what shape you needed, I found it was great to sort of switch between touch and sticks. So for circles, I'd use touch. But for things like the gun and the sword, I'd use these sticks, because it's just far easier to draw a straight line with an analog stick. And the Switch version they've confirmed will still use touch when undocked, so that kind of gives that a nice edge. So it's very similar to the Wii U version if you're playing Switch undocked. But all other platforms, including PS4, will just be sticks. Which is kind of a missed opportunity, given PS4 has a touchpad, but oh well.
Nobody cares about the PS4's touchpad. It's literally just an extra button at this point for any game I play at this point anymore.
Sure.
But Yeah, I remember the only time I played Wonderful 101 was at either, it had to be PAX when it was coming out for the Wii U, and they had a demo available, and there was that inside section where they showed, like, check out what you can do with the Wii U gamepad and all that, and I think I enjoyed what I played, but it was just so much happening all at once that it just kind of overwhelmed me, and I wasn't sure what I was in for.
Sure.
And I think that might have been why I just sort of didn't gravitate toward the game, despite it being platinum. But there's so many people have talked about how great it is, how much they enjoy it, that I'm going to be back in this game pretty soon.
It's not a great game to demo. Like you really have to get into it.
No. So that's actually a problem that people had with the game, and I hope Platinum realizes this, but the game starts off, it's fun, but in terms of teaching mechanics, it starts off terribly, and I think, if anything, the demo put people off from the game than anything, because it just throws you into level 1 with a ton of different enemies that have different ways you got to attack them, and some of them are really frustrating if you don't know what to do. Like, there's this entire mechanic where you have to draw a shape to transform your power, but if during the transformation, if you press another button, you can set some of your crew to do attacks while you do something else. Everything becomes so overwhelming, and it's all given to you level 1. It's not a great way to start the game off if you're just expecting, oh, let's see what this game is about. So hopefully they retool the tutorial, and that'll make it a much easier game for new people to get into.
I did like the Wonderful 101, but not quite on the same level as AntDude, but I still appreciated it for what it was. And I will say, it's absolutely high quality. The voice cast has actors like Roger Craig Smith, has, I think, was Tara Strong in there?
I think so, that sounds like Wonder Pink.
Yeah, there's just so many great voice actors that you'll recognize, and the action is like very similar to Bayonetta on the high density, high pacing. It's just really great from moment to moment. So, like, while I didn't like it at the same level as AntDude did, I can still appreciate that this is a very high-quality game. And I think people are really going to appreciate it when they play it for the first time.
Yeah, I think this is going to introduce a lot of new fans. The fact that it's on a lot more systems now. It has this great word of mouth at this point with this. And honestly, a Wii U port for $40 digitally, not that much more physically. It's only a $5 difference between the two, if you want to go for the most base reward, base reward, you're good to go. Which, yeah, sure, I'm probably going to get physical.
I'm also happy it's coming out on every console, because now everyone can play it.
That's a great thing, yeah. Like, I don't see the point in being bitter that this is no longer an exclusive, because first, it's a Wii U game, who cares? And two, the more the merrier. The more people who can play this game, the better.
And who knows what the modding community will do with it on Steam.
Oh no.
So all kinds of wonder things. But yeah, I do plan on pledging. I haven't done it yet, but I'll probably go for the $40 physical version.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It's taken a lot out of me to not spend more than $100, because, ooh boy, do I love this game so much.
Well, what makes you want to spend the $100? What reward, like,
they have, I think at 150 you get stickers and one of the ID cards for Wonder Red, and that just sounds super cool. Because normally I'm not much for physical rewards or whatever, but something about the card, that's the actual item that he gets recognized by in the game, something about that just sounds really cool.
But yeah, so far, it's been great to see this outpouring. And people have been putting in a lot of money because, as of right now, there's 4,600 backers pledging $307,000.
Oh yeah, it'll hit that PS4 goal by the end of the day.
Oh, even before that, I would say by the end of the hour, it'll hit the 500,000.
Which I think is very telling. This is a game that everyone kept saying no one cared about, and Kickstarter once again coming and proving the big companies wrong.
For sure.
So that's at least good.
Yeah.
And since the game's already completed, we can't be upset with the final product because we already know what the game is. So that's a benefit to a port being on Kickstarter. We already know the game's good.
Yeah, I already know it's good. It's coming out on all systems. We only have to wait 3 months.
I don't think any other Platinum game could do this. If Astral Chain hits Kickstarter, I don't think it's going to have the same outcry, because Wonderful 101 feels like a game that couldn't have happened any other way, whereas Astral Chain is already a success. So, like this, I think people are coming together because they really love this game and they want to show how much they love it. But any other games, I'm not sure you can really go the Kickstarter route, or at least not with any recent games.
Vanquish would probably be their best bet, but I don't hear anybody talk about Vanquish.
I feel like a lot of people's expectations have changed too over the years. Because during the Wii U days, everyone was hoping that the next game would be the game that saved the console. And wow, it's not the greatest game in the world. The Wii U still is bad. But now people are just more accepting about sort of anything. So I think that's part of it. So it's just nice. I'm just very happy one of 101 people are caring about. Even if it's just for today and it dies off tomorrow. I don't care. For one day, as a fan, it's very, very happy.
We've reached the era where this game exists. It should be on the Switch.
Sure.
That's pretty much the entire thought process behind bringing games to the Switch.
Yeah, there's like 5 Wii U games left now.
Yeah, we're running out. I remember for a long time people were definitely campaigning hard for Wonder Red to be in Smash.
I was one of them. That was my fighter ballot.
Oh, wow. That'd be an awesome final Smash. Like, just get every single action hero in there and just do a giant 100-person, like, I don't know, like a fist or something.
You could do a lot with them, that's for sure. Kind of like a weird Pikmin situation. So, well, any other thoughts on the Wonderful 101 Remastered Kickstarter or the Platinum 4?
I'm excited to give it another chance, because I did appreciate it the first time. I didn't love it on the same level I love Bayonetta, but I want to dive in and see if it'll probably click with me the same way that it has with AntDude and plenty of other people.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same way. I have not played it before. This will be my first time going through it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like.
I want so many people to play this game. Oh my god, I love this game so much. Me and only like 2 other people in the last 6 years or however long it's been, we're the only people who have to talk to each other about it. We know no one else who's super into this game. I want more people to play it. It's so good. Music is amazing. The comedy is there. The action is intense and it's over the top and amazing. Then the last like 2 hours of the game is some of the greatest moments I've ever experienced in my entire gaming history. So yeah, please give this game another shot.
I think it's going to happen, considering it's out there. So it's going to be on the Switch. It's going to be available, so people have no excuse. And just as a final quick note, the pledge at this point is $325,000. So yeah, basically $100,000 in the time we did this. Crazy. All right, well, I think that covers it for our Wonderful 101 discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And AntDude, where can they find you at?
I'm me on Twitter and YouTube at AntDude92.
Very cool. I suppose we can expect a review of this game from you
Oh,
when this comes out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to play my part to hype this up, no doubt.
I figured. But yeah, check him out, and of course, be sure to subscribe to Game Explain for more on Wonderful 101 and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.